Hey everybody, welcome back to Hill Brent for Leather. Got a big episode today. I think this is episode 7 or 8, and I can't recall how many I've done, who's counting. But I actually have a real, actual guest today that's someone in the industry as opposed to just, friends of mine from around the area here or people that I grew up with. I'm gonna blow up his ego a little bit here, because yeah, if it wasn't already big enough. I truly believe that the main project that this man is involved in is the greatest power metal band that has happened in the United States in at least the last 20 years. I truly believe that. There are bands that have sort of a power element that I would say were a bigger influence or a bigger band, like Iced Earth, but I don't consider them a power metal band, and other bands. But the person I'm talking to today is Sean Peck from Cage, Three Tremors,
Sorry.
fucking Dinner Sherman, Death Dealer, what else? There's 9 million things you've done.
Cage, Three Tremors, the list goes. Warrior.
Yeah, oh yeah, Warrior, I forgot about that. But yeah, you guys, the posters and stuff that Nathan used to do whenever you guys would come through and stuff like that, and just, other posters I've seen for you guys should be the undisputed kings of American power metal.
We call ourselves the American Power Metal Kings, but we're the only ones that call us that. So
I doubt that. I've called you guys. I mean, all right. So my introduction to Cage was Prog Power 4, and you guys put Kill the Devil on the sampler.
Oh,
and
yeah.
That was either the first or second song on the sampler, and that's when I was fucking going nuts listening to that every year.
It was by far the best song on the sampler. I remember that sampler. I'm like, is it just me, or I know I'm biased, but the rest of these songs are fucking garbage.
There was some good stuff on there, but there was very little great. And
there was no Kill the Devil on there, though.
I'd never heard of Cage. I had no idea who you guys were, which, to be fair, 2004, Prog Power 4 would have been 2003. I was 3 years roughly into metal at that point, 3.5, maybe 4. I got into metal around 99, 2000. So I didn't really know a lot outside of, Priest and some Iced Earth and Iron Maiden and your big names, But fucking Kill the Devil comes on, and my buddy Casey and I, who's been on the podcast a couple times, we both looked at each other, what in the fuck is this? And I've been hooked ever since. It's a perfect riff with you just coming in with that fucking bat out of hell beastly scream, and I'm just sitting there like my balls melted off. That's the best way to put it.
Metal. That's what we do, ball melting metal.
But so that comes out, I immediately had to find whatever in the fuck CD that was on and went and picked it up.
Darker Than Black.
Yeah, no, I know. I didn't know that at the time. So went and found Darker Than Black, fucking loved that, loved Chupacabra, fucking loved Secrets of Fatima. I used to joke with myself, and I never brought it up to you because, even though we did become friends later and such, I never brought it up to you because my ego that I have is contained within myself. I'm the only person that believes my own hype. I had this vision in my head.
I believe it. Right?
Yeah, okay.
I believe it. I'm a believer.
Well, I had this vision in my head that I didn't want you to wreck your voice. So I wanted you guys to do Secrets of Fatima at like Station 4 or wherever you were going to play on whatever tour you would come in on. And I was going to do the black metal-y fucking Danny Filth type vocals and just fucking blow my voice out. And yeah, I was the only person that envisioned that.
Well, that I remember doing that album, and that's when like, I'm going to throw these black metal vocals in just to show all these people I can do the black metal vocals, but then I can also frickin' wail on it too. That was a cool track. I was just listening to that the other day.
Yeah, I was listening to I was listening to a bunch of Cage and Three Tremors on the way to work this morning, and some on the way home, and it astounds me your range. I mean, you've always joked and just sent me just stupid things of you screaming at the top of your fucking range, just going nuts. But I don't think you get nearly the credit you deserve for your low end.
You know what? There's some video out there with like the vocal range of Sean Peck, and those those mad scientist vocal dudes that'll like
Yep.
show the note while I'm singing it, and then they'll like turn it black to show that it's black. They know way more about singing than I do. But yeah, I did some super low ones on some of the Death Dealers of the Sea, like that kind of shit.
Not even just that. I mean, yeah, that too. But I'm talking about your really low. Like, I don't fucking know.
Just the low regular voice.
Yeah, I don't know if it's baritone or tenor or whatever.
I don't know that shit either.
Yeah, I don't.
Like when Jeff Tate talks.
Yeah. Or like, when you're in Secrets of Fatima, when you're down really low, and then you go high again. Just that, I don't think you get enough credit for being down there, because that really harkens back to Rob Halford, because Rob Halford, he's known, he's the metal god. He does all these screaming, super high, stupid things, but then he gets down in that super low register too, where it's like, God damn, this dude can fucking sing, and you're the only other singer that just immediately comes to mind who really can pull that off across that entire spectrum. I mean, do you know how many octaves you're capable of?
I think it's like 28 or something.
There's not that many octaves, dude.
No, I'm up to 69 octaves.
Nice.
I mean, people call me a Halford wannabe, and to that I would simply answer, you're goddamn right.
Yes.
I'm a fucking Halford wannabe.
I mean, there
I've been saying that. I've been introducing songs saying that. It's been going over pretty good on stage lately.
There are two very prominent Halford wannabes in this world. You and Ralph Sheepers. And I truly believe that your voice is better than Ralph's.
Man, that last time I saw Ralph singing, he was fucking killing it, though,
Yes.
man. I was just like, dude, are you fucking on? What are you taking? But yeah, I mean, everyone has their strengths, everyone, like I'm with Harry and Ripper, and I think Harry can outsing anybody pretty much. He's fucking, it's irritating how good he is. It's so fucking annoying. Me and Tim will wake up and we'll be just like, dude, I need my coffee, dude. Don't talk to me. And and then Harry's like, hey guys, what up? And he just wakes up like fucking 7 a.m. singing Christina Aguilera and shit. And we're just like, dude, we just played a show last night. Anyways, yeah. But thank you for the compliments. But I'm getting old now, so shit, I don't know. I don't know if I can pull this shit off anymore.
To be fair, though, like I know it's just on record, but I've seen you live enough. I think you sound better over the last 10 years than you did the 10 years before that.
There's been a couple times, like in the practices, I'm like, fuck, dude, like I'm like right now, dude, I got all my powers going. And, now I've got like the super high screams that I really didn't have a grasp of maybe 10 years ago. And now I got like that super, I mean, I think I got the high, if you want to say highest screams, I don't know who's got the higher shit than me in the business right now. Yeah. For the super, super high ones.
I mean, you've got falsetto too that's really fucking high.
What's that?
I said you've got falsetto too that's really high. I noticed that earlier too. I mean, most of your stuff is full throated, but you do some falsetto as well.
That's why I'm different, because like most of my high stuff is all full chest voice, and that's why Harry and Ripper, I'm like, why didn't I learn to sing like them? It's just so easy for them, because I'm singing with a full and they've got their own they've got their little tricks, and the main thing is, does it sound good? Whatever's coming out of your fucking voice, does it sound good? Like, it could be a high note, but if it doesn't sound good, what the fuck good is it?
Right.
And you guys, all their shit sounds good, which again is super annoying, because I go out there and like, I'm not always perfect. I go out there like, it's not going to be perfect. There's going to be probably some bad notes, but there's going to be some really fucking good notes in there too.
I've seen Cage a number of times throughout the years, and I've never seen you have a bad set. I've seen you hit a couple of notes that you didn't get quite to where you wanted to go, But then I see that look in your face when that happens, and you're like, oh, motherfucker. No. The next one, I'm going to beat the shit out of this. And then you do it, and then you can just kind of get this smile on your face like, yeah, I've still got it. Fuck y'all. And you know, it's cool seeing kind of how you've progressed because, as I said, I think you've sounded better over the last 10 years than you did the 10 years previous to that. But I think a lot of that is attributed to the fact that you're a lot busier now than you used to be. I mean, you used to have Cage, and that was it. And now you're juggling so many different projects that I think you're keeping that muscle working more as opposed to, you know, working the hell out of it on a small tour and while recording a record and then, you know, maybe only using it once every couple of months or so, unless you're, you know, just riding around doing videos on Instagram singing in your car karaoke.
Singing fucking King Diamond medleys.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I recorded like 80 songs on the shutdown. We did, you know, 2 new Death Dealer albums, a Death Dealer EP, the 3 Tremors album, the Cage album, tons of cover songs, fucking Friends shit, and then, you know, this new top secret new band that I'm in, which we can't talk about on the air.
Didn't even know about it until you just said something. So, okay.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you off the air.
Okay.
But it's a heavy metal wet dream when this thing gets announced. It's a heavy metal. People are gonna fucking lose their shit.
You're joining Annihilator and taking all of Joe Como's parts from the 2 Annihilator records he was on and doing all those better than Joe. Sweet, I'm in. Do I?
I'd be great with Annihilator.
Fuck
I would
yeah,
kill with Annihilator.
Well, no, the rumor going around is Jeff is wanting to do the first 3 Annihilator records on tour and do like destination cities to where they play like a weekend. They do a Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, and they do Alice in Hell, Never Never Land, and Set the World on Fire. They'd have Never Never Land and Set the World on Fire with Cobra and Farr and Aaron Randall, the guys that sang on those. And then for Alice in Hell, Randy Rampage is dead, so he's talking about having Stu from Into Eternity and Iced Earth do it, which would be cool as shit. I'd love to see Stu do Alice in Hell. But, yeah, dude, you'd kick ass with Annihilator. But, you know, I'm biased as fuck because Annihilator's my favorite thrash band of all time, so...
I need to be in another band.
Yeah.
I need like, I'm at like 8. I need like 9 for sure to really... really come full circle on it.
You need another band like I need a convertible ride through Dallas. Jesus.
Hey, you're one of the few people that has heard the 3 Tremors album.
I have.
The new one.
I have.
Guardians of the Void.
Yeah, I listened to it.
Are we going to segue into that?
We can talk about it a little bit. I'm not as studied on it as I would like to be, just because I was listening to it through work yesterday.
You took a run through it.
I did, and I would say that I like it more than the debut.
I think we're going to get a lot of that, just because the first one we put like an atomic bomb in people's ears, and I don't think a lot of people were ready for that. I like the first one probably a little bit better, but maybe this one. But this is definitely that first single, Bone Breaker. Everyone fucking's going crazy over that. So Dave wrote a lot of these. Dave wrote 8 of the 12.
Okay.
So Casey was really busy with his stuff. And so, you know, Dave just kept writing. And, you know, Dave's a fucking riff machine.
Yep.
And it just keep riffs. And we put together a bunch of cool songs. And it's cool, man. I'm digging. I'm excited to play some of these songs live. I see Harry just posted a video of him singing the songs, like sitting at his fucking table, like going through the lyrics, preparing for it. I'm like, dude. I always worry when Harry posts a video. Like, I'm always going, oh fuck, he's the wild card, man. You never know what he's gonna do.
Jag Panzer fans have known that for years. The man's insane, and that's what makes him so endearing to the Jag Panzer fans.
We love him, though. You know, he's a special dude. It's funny, this last 3 Tremors tour was like the love connection. He met a chick in Greece that he married. Our drummer met a chick in Copenhagen that he's fucking hooked up with. I'm like, dude, there's a lot of testosterone pouring off that stage for these women. They just can't control themselves.
So back to that a little bit. The first record versus this one. I think this one's more mature, and I think
It's more mature. It's a more mature record.
I think it's a more mature record because, and I say that because the first record, I think you really just wanted to go fucking ape shit and crush everyone and say, hey, we're here, fuck you. Whereas this one, you've already established that dominance. So now you need to walk it back a little bit and say, hey, not only can we scream like madmen for 70 minutes, we can also write songs that are really good as well, that not just a bunch of guys screaming over generic riffs and such. Not to say that the first one was, because it wasn't, but you had a bunch of time to write that one. Whereas this one, the follow-up, you never have enough time to record the follow-up compared to the first one, because the first one you had your entire life to write it.
Yeah, I mean, that's not necessarily the case with this, because we just write songs and then it's ready. We didn't have a deadline or anything. We have a deadline now because we have this opportunity to tour. We didn't think we were going to be able to tour on this because of the KK's pre stuff, and then they got delayed. And now KK's pre stole not only the Three Tremors singer, but they stole our drummer as well. So they could, KK's Priest could have had any drummer in the world, and they took the Cage drummer. You people listening to that out there?
Yeah.
Could have had any drummer in the world. They took the Cage drummer. But anyway, so we had this window to go, pound some shows in. So it's been a fucking fire drill. Like, we got to book these shows. And, so I've been working on logistics and getting the fucking CDs ready in time and shirts. And I just booked Harry's flight in from Greece and all that shit. So we had like all the time in the world. And then it was just like a fucking fire alarm at a fire station, and everyone coming down the poles and getting their fucking jumping in the fire truck. Crazy. And I'm doing 90% of the work, of course, but who better than me to take on the challenge?
Well, sure. I mean, and Three Tremors is kind of your brainchild anyways.
Right.
So
it's my brainchild that I stole from Rob Halford, Bruce Dickinson, and Jeff Tate.
Right. No, it wasn't. It was it was never going to be Jeff Tate.
That's not. Where'd you get that from?
Halford's book.
I read that part. He didn't. What do you mean it was never going to be Jeff Tate?
It was going to be Dio.
I know the inside story when the shit went down in the room, dude.
It was going to be Dio, and Dio wasn't able to do it. And then they were like, all right, I guess we can do Jeff. It was going to be Dio first.
That's how it said in this book, but that's not how it went down.
Oh, well.
They went to get Dio after Jeff bailed out.
Oh, all right. I read it the other way around, so.
And then, the Dio demands were such that it would not be possible.
Sure.
And so then it just died.
So back to what you were saying about KK's Priest taking the Cage drummer. The Three Tremors lineup is Cage, but with the addition of Harry and Ripper, correct? You there?
Yeah, we had a lag for a second. Go ahead.
Yeah,
I got you now.
I'm gonna kill video on my end just to save some bandwidth, because as I said, we run a low tech operation around here. So,
all right.
The Three Tremors lineup is Cage with the addition of Ripper and Harry, correct?
Yeah.
So, was any of the Three Tremors stuff, was that stuff that was going to be Cage? And then you were like, nah, fuck this. I want to do something cool and different that sets it apart from Cage. Or did it all come naturally that it was just going to be Three Tremors and it just happened to be that lineup to support it?
Well, at first I was going to get like all different kinds of guitar players and shit. There was another singer that was going to be in it before Harry. I don't even think I've revealed that in public who it was. Are you waiting? Should I reveal it now on the Brent fucking show?
You should.
Should I break an exclusive here on the Brent show?
You should. I would love to know who it was.
So the first one, it was going to be Sheepers.
Okay.
And so I had Sheepers and Ripper all agree to do it. And then, it took some time just because of schedule and shit to kind of get it started. And then they came out, Ralph was kind of giving me some, some hints like, yeah, I might not be able to do it, and blah, blah, blah. And then, Ripper did the thing with Tate and Blaze. It was just like some cover shows.
Yep, I remember that.
And Trinity. And then, Ralph's like, dude, they're already doing it. I'm like, that's just like, I go, by the time our shit comes out, no one's going to remember that shit.
I didn't remember it until you just said it.
Yeah. See? And then, when Sheepers was out here on tour with Primal Fear and Rhapsody, we hung out with them, and he's like, yeah, man, we'll see how it goes. He was kind of just dropping subtle hints. And then I did the Warrior thing, and I kind of figured like Ralph would be too busy with Primal Fear and stuff. And that's when I talked to Harry. And it's probably worked out better because I think Sheepers and Ripper probably sounded too much alike.
Yep, I was just going to say, I'm glad Harry's there versus Ralph. I like Ralph.
Yeah.
I truly do. He's a great vocalist, and he's a good guy. But Harry brings something that Ralph doesn't.
Yeah, and so that's just how it worked out. But yeah, it was going to be Ralph at first, and now us three Americans are doing it, and we just we were focused on the Three Tremors. We didn't write it as Cage songs. We just were like, hey, we're writing the Three Tremors album now, and we wrote that, and none of those were going to be Cage songs. This latest batch, like, we were writing songs, and some of them got thrown in the Cage basket, and some of them got thrown in the Tremors basket. For this new one, but there was no specific. We focused on the first Tremors record and got it done. There's some killer songs on that first Tremors record. I mean,
Absolutely.
like I said, we did a tour and we played the whole. Early on in Europe, we played all 12 songs live for crowds that had only heard one song, and they fucking loved all the songs. And so when these reviews came out and we're talking shit about it, it didn't even faze me because I'm like, I just did 17 shows for fucking hardcore metalheads that went ape shit over those songs first time through. So that was an interesting thing to be kind of insulated from all the fucking bad reviews that we got on the first record, because I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I just played it for people live and they loved it. But I think the reviewers will be much kinder on this one.
Yeah, I will say, and I hope it makes it into the set this go round, because I didn't get to see Three Tremors the first time around. It just didn't come here. But
right.
my favorite song off that first record is The Calls.
That's got a really cool fucking riff attack. I don't know if right now that one's not in the new show, man. Fuck. You're fucked.
Oh well. Wouldn't be the first time. So
1776 and all that shit, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, me being Mr.
Hell
US
yeah.
history and such.
Hell yeah.
So are you doing anything with this record like you did with the first one, where you release individual versions, where you've got your version and Harry and Ripper have their individual versions? Or was that just like a first time only thing?
We have them all, man, and there's some really good ones. So maybe down the road, the solo, if for you people listening, this Brent is referring to the solo versions, where we released a 3-disc set where Harry sang the whole album, I sang the whole album, and Ripper sang the whole album. We have all that shit. We have versions already. I was going to put a couple of them on as bonuses, but Dave has to mix and master 36 songs.
Sure.
So he's like, fuck you. Like, don't make me do that shit again. We're like, hey, man, is the album done yet? Like, we don't do shit. And he sits there for fucking 12 hours a day burning his fucking ears up. So maybe, next year we'll come out with it. We'll see how it goes. But that was a killer. The solo versions are awesome. Killer 3-disc set. The packaging, I loved it. It's really impressive.
Yeah, and I just love the concept of Three Tremors. Just, you've got 3 all-time greats in the genre coming together, and while their styles are similar, they're not carbon copies. So when you're listening to the songs, you can almost always tell, who's hitting this harmony, who's hitting that harmony, who's holding back and not singing
Yeah.
anything here when all three of you together at the same time. And I really like that dynamic because it's three guys that, could have pretty large egos, but you all seem to work together well and aren't trying to outshine one another.
No, that's the thing. One guy stops with a note, we stop with a note. No, there's not the other guy trying to go, like I can hold it fucking 5 seconds longer. Like we learn, we established that right out of the gate. One guy stops the note, the other guy stops the note. We're in unison.
Sure.
And it's cool because, of course the cage guys are well battle tested, where we're all friends outside of music.
Sure.
We hang out beyond just.
Oh, guys, I may have lost him. Oh, he's back.
What's that? Can you hear me?
I lost you for about 3 seconds, but we're good now. Go ahead.
Yeah. We'll call each other and talk shit and not even talk music. So we're friends. And then we brought, Ripper in and Harry in, and we had to see how touring and hanging out, how that dynamic was going to work. And now it's like 7 fucking members of a heavy metal street game, where that's a lot why Sean got the KK gig, because Ripper was cool hanging out with him, and he knew how he was on the road, and it's just as a bro, and that was, I'm sure, a lot that had to do with him getting the gig. And so yeah, man, it's we've done almost 70 shows together, I think. So people that are like, oh, it's the 3 Tremors project. And that's what we established right out of the gate. Like, this ain't a fucking project. This is a band. And it's cool because, Ripper takes ownership of it too. I think he's kind of proud of it. It's not just like a paid gig for him. I think he really digs it, and, has a good time performing with us. And it's fun as shit, man. It's the 3 of us up there. It sucked because, like, right before the pandemic, we were just starting after 70 shows. Like, we had a really tight, man. We had it tight and really choreographed, and I'm like, dude, we got this thing down now. And then now we got to learn how to do it all over again.
Yeah, but I mean, even then, at least you got to take some time off and rest and really put your efforts towards writing a bunch of new stuff and such. Because if the pandemic hadn't happened, do you think this record would be out right now?
Yeah, probably not this quick, but yeah, we were in the middle of that tour. We had just done Texas and Florida, and we were on Eddie Trunk going, no matter what, we're not canceling.
Yeah.
There could be bodies in the streets. We don't give a fuck. No matter what, we'll be there. And then like 2 days later, we canceled.
Yeah, but to be fair, I would imagine most of the venues were canceling on you, not the other way around.
Yeah. That's what happened. They're like, okay, well, California's out, but we could still go to Seattle, then fly to Iowa, then back to. And I'm just looking at this going, you know what? Fuck, we're fighting a losing battle. Fuck this. So
now, how are you guys doing this one? Are you doing fly-ins, or are you going out in a van?
Well, we travel really lean and mean, man. We're just like, one suitcase. We use local backlines, and so it's going to be a van, and then fly to this next region, then a van up there, and then fly to the next region. So we we don't go in a giant tour bus. I fucking hate tour buses. I like to be in a hotel room.
Sure.
So, and we're old now. We're past the sleeping on the fucking floor stage.
Absolutely.
So, but it's cool, man. The reaction is, I'm stoked because people are like, fuck yeah, we're coming. And, now, unfortunately, Priest isn't touring, but that kind of opens up a power vacuum for this kind of thing. There's not a lot of, old school classic screaming heavy metal that's out on the road right now. There's not. So I think we've got we're filling a good void right now. And the tickets are selling good. The pre-orders are selling like crazy. And the reaction's been fucking great so far for all this work I've been putting into it. So at least I got that.
Yeah, speaking of that Priest thing, I saw them 2 days before Richie's fucking heart attack.
Yeah, it's nuts.
So I'm really glad I got to see them before the rest of the tour had to be postponed, because I don't know if you got to see them on this tour, but it is the best I've ever seen Priest. And this was, I think, either my 8th or 9th time seeing them. It's the best set list I've ever seen, and they sounded the best. It was incredible.
Yeah. I had tickets, man. I'm pissed. I was going backstage with Roy Z, all set up, and I just posted a picture of me and Richie. It came up on my Facebook timeline when I got to sing those 2 songs with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a miracle he's alive. It's fucking good. But
reading that story, man, he should have died, and I'm really thankful he didn't.
Yeah, super cool dude. Obviously writing killer songs. So, it's just good that he made it. But as far as the Tremors goes, like, that's the next best thing. So come out and check us out.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the fact that
that's you. I'm talking to the listeners. Come on, Brent.
And I'm reiterating that. No, I can't speak for the Tremors because I haven't seen you guys live, but I mean, you and Cage, I've seen you play in front of 30 people, and I've seen you play in front of 2,000 at Prog Power, and you guys, no matter what, always play like you're in front of 10,000 people, 20,000 people, 30,000 people. I mean, you've got all the various fucking jackets and vests and stuff that you come out with, and fucking Dave's out there looking as Conan as ever. That dude looks like he bench presses a fucking house. And
best biceps in heavy metal. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I don't know that he and Ralph could have been in a band together.
He's way bigger than Ralph.
No, I know, man. And that's what I'm saying. That would have caused the bone.
He's not as tall as Ralph, but as far as he's freaking. I got that cool picture when we were on their bus where they're both going with the big fucking guns. It looks cool as shit.
So what else is on the horizon? I know that, I mean, you and I have had private conversations, you talking about, doing a bunch of Death Dealer stuff and stuff like that during the pandemic, but what's kind of the I guess timeline of events that's coming? I know you've got Tremors coming out next month and then the tour corresponding with that. What else is coming up?
We have a Death Dealer EP coming out December 5th, I think.
Okay.
It's really cool. It's called Fuel Injected Suicide Machine. It's like a Mad Max thing. And it's got 4 songs, and the video is fucking awesome. And the 4 songs are fucking solid gold. And then the 4th Death Dealer album is done. And that could be, I think, me and Stu think it's the best Death Dealer yet.
You've told me that privately. You said you think it's the best one.
The songs are just fucking great in that thing. Some really crazy thrash ones and just some really good songs. So that'll come out next. The Cage album, we have literally like 20 Cage songs, and we have like 4 more we got to finish. So we're trying to. That's a really cool thing because that's called Dungeon Crawler, and that's going to have an insane physical product component to it that's probably never been done before. You know me, I'm always full of fucking great ideas. That's kind of related to the whole Dungeon Crawler concept.
Okay.
And so the Death Dealer, the Cage, then we have another Death Dealer that's pretty much done. We have so many Death Dealers. Me and Stu have just been fucking ridiculous how many songs we wrote. So literally the 4th and the 5th Death Dealer albums are. 5th Death Dealer album just needs some tweaks, and that one's done. But we'll be pushing 4 pretty hard. Then I've got this other thing going that's related to the Merciful Fate, Michael Denner world.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if I know that Denner Sherman's been put to bed, correct?
That's just because Michael and Hank, because of the betrayal that Denner doesn't get to do the Merciful Fate reunion.
That more than breaks my heart because my favorite guitar duo in history is KK and Glenn, but right under them is Denner and Sherman, and it kills me that they are not getting along at the moment, and I hope that that's the exception and not the rule.
Yeah, it's just fucking dirty. Like, oh, we're doing Merciful Fate, but Denner, you don't get to be involved in it. It's fucking stupid. Manowar needs a guitar player. No Ross. Judas Priest needs a guitar player. No KK Downing. I mean, what the fuck, man? It's bury the hatchet and do what's right for the fucking your fans that put you where you're at, is what I say.
I can almost
But
understand the Priest situation with KK not coming back only because Richie has modeled so much of his stage presence and how he looks around KK because he was KK's replacement.
But now, no, Richie, they should have called him and kept the tour going and go, dude, KK comes in and fucking saves the day. But it would have helped him with his.
I think that would have been giving him a victory that they desperately don't want to give him. And by they, I mean Jane Andrews and Glenn.
But the fucking guy had a heart. You know, it's not a victory. It's a fucking. It's Jane Andrews' petty fucking complete pettiness.
As much as I hate to say it, I think it's half Jane, half Glenn. Because when you read KK's book, it just seems like that Glenn and him just never got along.
Yeah, but I mean, dude, you know, I know anecdotal Jane stuff that you've never heard about that is just adds to the fucking ridiculousness of why she's. I'm sure you're listening.
Hold on that band.
I'm telling you how the fuck it is. Yeah. Anyways, but that's just a shame for the music fans, you know. Fucking Man of War with Ross returning would have been fucking glorious. No,
it would have been triumphant. It would have been amazing.
Yeah, but Joey DeMaio's a little bitch about shit like that. You know, I'm not gonna apologize about what I just said about Joey DeMaio, like fucking Ross did.
Everybody I know that is a Man of War fan, who is either in the business or just a fan, who has met Joey, has always came away with the exact same phrase, never meet your heroes. Joey is just renowned as a douchebag to everyone. I've never met him. I love Man of War, and I would never want to meet him.
They tried, you know, I was in the middle of that world, you know, that he wanted to sign.
I remember this story.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I said, let's go. We were arguing fucking heavy. I go, let's go to the ATM and pull out our fucking ATM slips and see who's got more money in the bank right now. And he didn't like that one.
Of course not, because as far as I know, he's still living in his parents' basement in fucking Buffalo.
Well, I mean, who knows where the fuck he lives. But anyways, so yeah, it's just a shame, but I think I need to do another Metal Daily News episode soon, don't you?
I absolutely do.
It's been like a month.
Yeah, you got to get on that. And as I told you when I first started this podcast, if you want to submit them to me, I'll play them. I'll be happy to do it. Cause,
I had some good shit on there, man.
So
all my Ellison jokes were just it was the gift that kept on giving.
So you said you've got something going that might be in that kind of Merciful Fate-ish world, but I know you can't go any further than that talking about it. Do you have anything else that you're working on that you can talk about? Like, are you still with Warrior?
We had a great time playing the benefit for Rob Farr, the bass player of Warrior that died, and it was really cool playing those songs, and the people loved it. And you know, I wanted to do a Warrior EP. So that might be something that might be on the horizon if I can get them going. We already had like 3 songs, like after we did the Keep It True thing, and it kind of just, you know, those guys are hard to keep motivated because they're so big. Joe Foyt's got that. He makes these guitars that have a speaker built in them. It's called electrophonic, and they're like his business is blowing up. He's got this giant guitar facility, so he's busy with that, but. You know, you could definitely see his eyes light up when we were playing that fucking Warrior set. He was just like, fuck, dude. Because it was powerful. It was really fucking good. And so we'll probably do some shows and maybe put some songs together. But, you know, there's going to be a heavy push for the Death Dealer next year. There's going to be a real heavy push with the new Cage since we haven't done an original album in a while. And there's going to be a real heavy push with this other thing that I'm on. So next year is going to be super jammed up with music. And And I keep getting heavier, dude. It's like I'm 54 and it's not mellowing out. It's like faster for the master, heavier, and it's just crazy. I'm like, why am I doing this to myself? This is just, I keep making these songs harder and harder.
Well, I mean, you're giving people what they want. I don't want
Yeah, and
fucking
it's what
false metal bullshit.
I'm not. I write these songs for self gratification. I hear it, and if I get the goosebumps and someone else likes it, that's just a bonus. That's the best advice to all musicians out there. Like, fuck the trends. Write the music for your own. If you think Mary Had a Little Lamb is the sickest fucking jam there ever was, you need to fucking own it and embrace it. And that's my music advice for you aspiring musicians out there.
All right, so I got one last question for you on that, and then I want to pivot a little bit. So, musically, throughout your entire career, if you had to pick 5 songs that were the 5 best songs, or maybe even just 5 of your favorite songs that you've ever sang on throughout all your projects, bands, everything, lightning round, without putting too much thought into it, what do you think they'd be?
Lightning round. Fuck. Okay, let's say probably Planet Crusher's got to be in there.
I knew you were going to say that one.
Crusher. I like seeing the people's eyes light up when I keep hitting the notes, keep going up and up and up. I would say I'm going through the albums in my mind. Probably Kill the Devil would be in there. That's one.
I think that's kind of a song that put you guys on the map. I mean, I think it was more than just my buddy and I hearing it. Like, I think that song did something for you guys. That record certainly did.
I would say Curse of the Heretic of the War Master Death Dealer album. I fucking love that song.
Okay.
That's 3.
Yep.
And then probably go with a Tremors song, maybe. Probably Bullets for the Damned. That one's fucking vicious.
I love Dave's riff on there. Good God. Especially at the end when the 3 of you were just belting it out and it's just I fucking love that. All right, that's 4.
That's 4, and then probably Wings of Destruction.
Oh, that's such a good fucking song. That's one of the songs I was listening to earlier on the way to work too.
That's the epic. We've been ending a lot of the cage sets with that one, and people are, we kind of play a cover right before that. They think it's over, and then there are people run the show like you got, you can only have time for one more song. We're like, okay, we got one more for you. It's like 9 minutes of fucking metal screaming.
Well, so
yeah, there we go. That's a good 5.
Pivoting off that, I know you've been a large fan of comic books and such over the years. And I know that you've gotten real big into collecting, I don't know, again, or just collecting more than you've ever really collected before, but I know you're hosting sales and stuff like that you're doing now. Like, what's some of the stuff that you're chasing right now? Like, what's whetting that comic appetite for you?
Well, I've collected comic books for like 1975 through 1995. I pretty much fucking got everything. And then after the comic crash, I kind of got out of it. Hadn't really done shit with comic books up until like 6-7 months ago. I had all these thousands and thousands of comics. And I'm like, you know what? Am I going to take these comics to my grave? Like, I should probably start selling this shit. So as I started getting into selling it, I started learning. I discovered that the comic book market is like cryptocurrency. It's like on fire right now, like randomly when I started exploring it again. And so I started getting into like, okay, what's the best way that I can make the most money off the shit that I have? And then I started learning more about the comic book community. There's like celebrities I'm like almost a big name in the comic book community only after a few months, just because I'm a heavy metal singer. Most of these dudes are, the typical comic book nerd that you would expect. Couple hot chicks here and there.
Nick
But
Cage.
since I'm like, and I've got a bunch of comic book songs too.
Right.
People freak the fuck out on that shit. So I've been, I found a couple people that had like incredible high grade collection stuff that I got into for like a really good price. Like I can invest in stocks, cryptocurrency, or comic books. Like what's more fun? So yeah, and then there's this new app called Whatnot, and it's awesome. It's like Twitch meets eBay, where they have these live like comic book sales, and people are talking back and forth, and it's really entertaining. And so I've been doing them. I sold 100 comics last night on that app. A Hell Destroyer Comics is my branding, and I got these followers, and these same buyers come in, and they love sitting there with me for 2 fucking hours while I just talk shit and make Sean Peck jokes about shit. Selling comic books, and it's fucking fun, and it's a good way to liquidate the stuff. But yeah, I've been all the Marvel stuff. I'm speculating on all the stuff that's coming out in movies. Moon Knight, Blade, the redo of Blade, Werewolf by Night, all the Marvel horror stuff. Now Warlock is fucking hot because they just cast that dude as Warlock, which everyone has them scratching the heads like, why the fuck that dude? So, the first King Shark in Suicide Squad, I went and bought the first appearance of fucking King Shark in a 9.8. So I'm totally freaking into it now, dude. It's like a whole nother side business, and it's fun as shit because I always loved comics.
Yeah, I was going to say, anybody that's followed you for any amount of time should know your love for all things comic and comic related adjacent, due to just the sheer number of songs that you've got over the years about, fucking Doctor Doom and
Dude, no one has comic songs like me. On planet Earth, I am the top comic song guy. I got Doctor Doom, Spirit of Vengeance, Scarlet Witch, Iron Man. We have the 3 Tremors has Kryptonian Steel, which you probably heard.
Yep.
The new Death Dealers got Assemble, which is a sick Avengers song. Wait to hear this I love that fucking song. We just did, Sorcerer Supreme, which everyone loved. All the comic nerds, I put out that Sorcerer. Shit, they can't believe it. Okay. Planet Crusher, Silver Surfer, and Galactus. So there is not a bigger, more prolific comic book song guy than me.
Plan of Attack.
Yeah, the Iron. Yeah, Plan of Attack. That's an awesome one. Yeah.
I have a plan. Attack. Well, so starting to wind things down a little bit here because I've had you on for about an hour now. What?
We haven't even talked politics. But.
Yeah, I've joked that my other podcast is the one where anything flies. This is the one that I kind of keep evergreen in regards to politics. I've said. I don't
sing about politics, for that exact reason. Like right. I need every fan I can get.
Right.
So I sing about it, but it's veiled. But I don't. I don't post anything or talk about it online, besides trying to make a funny joke.
A lot of the Cage stuff is really patriotic, but it's patriotic from a neutral perspective. It's not patriotic via, the left or patriotic via the right. It's patriotic via being an American. And you and I have different politics to a degree. And like your quote unquote patriotic stuff with Cage is fucking great. I love it. So, like we were just talking Wings of Destruction. That song is one of my favorite Cage songs, period. So, but yeah, I joked the only politics on this show ever would be The Politics of Ecstasy by Nevermore, because I fucking love me some Nevermore. But
I subscribe to, Ted Nugent's philosophy, and people that are listening right now, he said, I don't care if you screw water buffaloes, just don't splash me. That is his of how life should be.
I don't think I've ever heard that, and I love it.
A predisposition to not liking Ted Nugent for his politics, but when you hear that, can you disagree with that? Like, I don't care what you do, just don't fucking, infringe on what I'm doing.
that saying is now going to be a permanent part of my lexicon.
Right.
I've never heard it until right now, and it absolutely will be something I will say from this point forward. I love that.
Hey, one thing I want to touch on before I forget
Sure.
is, all everybody listening right now. So one of the things, we put out our own stuff on Steel Cartel Records. We have our own record label, and we only release the songs that we make videos to the streaming platforms. So the stuff that we put out moving forward, there's stuff that's on Spotify now, but all the new stuff, none of it goes to Spotify or any of the streaming platforms. The only songs you'll ever hear for free are the ones that we put music videos out for. So, we are purveyors of the physical product. Heavy metal fans love the physical product. They love supporting the band. And we put out the best physical product there is. You can see by our pre-order packages. They're second to fucking none. And
you guys put out comic books. There's an Ancient Evil comic book. I mean,
no,
there's
we don't have that was a book. It was a paperback.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like just that kind of imagery and stuff like that. You guys, much to your point that you just made, heavy metal fans love physical media. I mean, there's a reason that I've got a massive Rubbermaid container over here that's got 100 records in it or so, because I love physical media, and especially with what you guys do with everything that comes out on Steel Cartel, you guys go a little fucking nuts. I mean, you got Death Dealer, I mean not Death Dealer, you got Three Tremors socks coming out.
I'm in the sock game now, dude. I'm in the sock.
So fucking
but yeah, the cool thing is like all the journalists are stoked on it. They're like, oh, that's so cool. Like they really, give us support for being the David versus Goliath, and all these distributors are all moving to the digital platform. They're like, oh, well, we just want our percentage of people's Spotify plays. I'm like, I don't get it. Like you work all this time for your album to come out, and it just comes out for free on the day it's out. Like everyone can just have it for free. Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
No.
I don't listen to Spotify almost at all for that reason. I use it for a couple of podcasts like Rogan and stuff like that that's exclusive to Spotify. But, I pay $10 a month for Apple Music just because of the fact that I have so much of my music on the cloud on my computer that it makes sense for me to do that, so I don't have to carry shit around with me or download a bunch of stuff.
Well, I subscribe to YouTube Premium, and I get all the songs for free.
Yeah, but
and,
in terms of just in terms of just a straight free to listen to with ads and stuff like that, no, I'm better than that. If I want it, I'm gonna give the artist money.
But you were talking about, the comic book tie-in. So we recently tied in a big comic book concept into our physical product. So now most bands just release like, oh, when you get the vinyl, you can get the red vinyl or the green vinyl. Well, we put different artwork on the front, variant cover art, which they do for comic books all the time. It'll be the same comic book with 10 different covers, one more rare than the next.
Sure.
So we put out a variant artwork for the Three Tremors and a variant artwork option for the new Death Dealer that's coming out. But we also, for the Three Tremors, have a virgin variant, which means that it's the artwork without the band logo or the album title. It's just the art. And the virgins are selling like crazy. They're almost sold out. So I've stolen some more great ideas from somebody else, the comic book industry, and put it into our product line.
Well, John Schaefer did that with the Epic Words and Wicked Words and Epic Tales. Are you familiar with what that was?
That book thing?
Yeah. So I dropped like $300 a year and a half ago and bought all three of those, and they finally got delivered in like February or March.
Wow.
And each book has a different cover and all of that, but I mean, just all the artwork inside and everything, I really appreciate stuff like that because it's something that you can flip through and gone are the days of sitting down and listening to something and having the liner notes in front of you and being able to read them while they're being sung and such. So I really appreciate that there are, bands out there, you guys being, if not at the top of the game, fucking very close to it, who are still offering that experience to fans because there is a market for it. It's not the same market as, say, some kid laying on his bed in the 70s listening to Led Zeppelin 3 while reading the liner notes, but it is still there, and I appreciate that there are people still trying to keep that alive, and Cage and Three Tremors and Death Dealer, and you've been doing that because you're not just marketing that to people because you know it'll sell. You're marketing it to people because you're a fan of that thing yourself.
Yeah, it's fucking cool. That's why. But
And, I'll throw my hat in the ring and say there needs to be a Three Tremors comic book.
Yeah. I mean, I'm in the sock game. I might as well get in the comic game too, right?
You Ripper and Tyrant running around fucking shooting demons and shit.
I actually had Dusa, and I got, dude, I want you to do me, the three of us fighting Juggernaut, Doctor Doom, Magneto, and I can't remember who else.
Omega Red. Omega Red.
Omega Red.
Yeah, fucking Omega Red was one of my favorite villains on the old Fox animated cartoon.
Yeah.
So
all right. That happened one day.
Well, you got anything else you want to add before I get you off of here and such?
3tremors.com, the3tremors.com. Grab the pre-order, steelcartel.com. Go to youtube.com/steelcartel. Subscribe and check out all the cool fucking videos. Brent and I have been friends for a long time.
You stayed in my house. I mean,
yeah, we call each other and just talk shit beyond the band stuff. So it's always a pleasure. I would go down the frickin', we could talk movies and all kinds of other shit, but we ain't got time for that. You got to let me go. It's been fun. Thanks, buddy.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Well, with that said, fucking check out Cage, check out Three Tremors, check out Death Dealer, check out anything else Sean's got coming up. If fucking Sean makes a video of him sitting there reading the morning paper, or, fucking reading Blabbermouth and telling you the news, fucking watch it. It'll be entertaining. It'll be entertaining. I promise you. Simple Solutions.
Do you remember my Simple Solutions videos?
No. What is that?
Oh my God. You gotta watch them. They're like me, like how to frickin' put a trash bag in the trash can.
Oh yeah. God, that's been a while. I forgot all about those.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
How to make a bowl of cereal, how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Those were a big hit during the pandemic.
Well, I'll see you in 6 or 7 weeks, whenever the hell it is. It's towards
Let's go to. Are we going to Rodilio's again?
Rodilio's.
Rodizio's, the freaking Brazilian. We're gonna go to we go to that every time we're in Minneapolis.
Oh shit!
Brazilian bar.
I'll see if I can get off work early that day because it's a Thursday. I got to work Thursday and I got to work Friday. I have the Friday before.
Tuesday. You play Tuesday night in Minneapolis.
Oh, it's a Tuesday. Okay, I've got the Friday.
Where are you?
I'm in Minneapolis.
You're back? Okay.
Yeah, it'll be Minneapolis. I'm off the Friday before that, so it might be tough for me to take off early, but I get off work at like 4:30. But fucking Rodizio kicks ass. It's out in Maple Grove, which is
not for lunch.
Terribly far from where you guys are going to be playing, so we'll figure it out. Well, I'm gonna get us out. I'm gonna get us out of here then. This is Hell Brent for Leather. I appreciate everybody listening. You can find me on YouTube, Spotify, fucking Stitcher, Google Podcasts. I think it's on Amazon/Audible, and Apple Podcasts. So until next time, thanks for fucking listening, and I appreciate everybody tuning in. You take it easy, Sean.